San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. Yes. Oh, thank you.
These in the back as well.
Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, it's filled in the back.
No, don't worry.
Oh, Latin.
All for free. Just for free.
All right.
It's shining there, look. Shining with the dust. Okay.
It's a Latin boy.
Favourite bit of the day, folks.
Latin boy.
Latin boy.
Yeah.
Look, Ricky Martin.
Yeah.
My favourite bit of the day is the off-road section. I have to do this 6 days a week, you can imagine. Good therapy. I have to ask, and be completely honest with me, did everybody enjoy the off-road section? Yes! Do you want to do it again?
Yes! I said no.
Wow.
He said no.
No, you said no. And if you can borrow me your
I
glasses,
said
you'll do it
no
again.
too.
No, too.
Well, you two can
We can
stay
walk
here.
back from here, no problem. It's about 3 hours walking back. Okay. As always, thanks to the driver's station. A big round of applause for our drivers, chauffeurs. Well, it's been a good day today, folks. I do like these smaller groups, better than going out with like 8 to 10 cars because, you know, it just everything just. First time today, first class. You might even get a bit of an echo. Hasta la vista! Hasta la vista! Oh, and a big massive wave to Willie. Final wave. Until the next episode.
Oggy, oggy, oggy. Oggy, oggy, oggy. Oggy, oggy, oggy. Oh, check it out.
Thank you very much, guys.
Swimming in a natural pool is a great pleasure, especially when the pool is at the bottom of an unspoilt natural ravine. The series Canary Island Parks begins with an episode dedicated to the Nublo Rural Park on the island of Gran Canaria, which contains the Alma de Barranco ravine network. Natural parks. Nublo Rural Park, Alma de Barranco. The largest and most complex network of ravines in the Canary Islands is found on the south of Gran Canaria. What grabs the attention, with the climate in this area being notoriously arid, is that the relief is so craggy and spectacular. The reasons for this are found in the dramatic volcanic origins of the zone and the climate in the past, which was much wetter than it is now. The island of Gran Canaria has been formed over 14 million years. After a long period of growth, there was a tremendous collapse in the central area. An enormous crater was filled by new volcanic material. Then there was a period of calm that lasted for 3 million years, which was dominated by erosion. And this was followed by a period which saw some of the most explosive volcanic eruptions on the Canary Islands. In the last 2 million years, landslides, gravitational collapses, and erosion have dismantled this part of the volcanic structure, modeling a landscape that the writer and poet Miguel de Unamuno so accurately described as a petrified storm. With so much geological change in the central part of the island, the edges of the primitive crater Caldera de Tejeda are not always easy to find. Fortunately, the presence of certain layers that are repeated allows us to reconstruct the original perimeter and give it an estimated diameter of 20 kilometers. These volcanic tuffs, for example, are known as tiles, and their color is due to hydrothermal changes. The geological materials which bear witness to the violent eruptions that destroyed entire mountains in this area are found scattered all around the island. Agglomerations of basalt are very characteristic. These were formed from burning clouds or avalanches of blocks, lava and mud, which dragged and joined together fragments of rocks and trees that were in their path. Roque Nublo and neighboring rocks are simply the remains of lava fields destroyed by erosion. These were once joined together, but they are now separated by an abyss. Strange though it may seem, Roque Nublo and the platform on which it stands have been sliding downwards on underlying materials. This geological surfing was frequent in the area and caused large structures to move several kilometers from their original position. The phonolithic defiles, which form immense rock faces, have an average thickness of 40 to 50 meters and are spread over several square kilometers. Despite their solid appearance, the presence of broken-off blocks at the foot of the rock face shows that nothing escapes erosion and the effect of gravity. The whole area is being progressively dismantled. Mountains cut right down to their base, hard profiles, balanced rocks, needles, escapes and precipices. Geology comes alive in a silent reading of these forms. And the ravines, the source of such destruction, show their energetic beauty during the violent downpours of winter. And then comes the calm. The Nublo Rural Park is a vast geological ruin. The Nublo Rural Park includes the Tejeda hydrographical basin, which is the largest in the Canary Islands, and covers 26,000 hectares. With such a vast area, the ecological conditions are highly varied throughout the park. The majority of the coastline is steep and craggy, and there are few beaches. On the cliffs, we can see the remains of past beaches at heights of 8, 20, or 40 meters. This is testimony to the fact that the island was submerged more deeply in the past and that the sea reached higher levels. The lower area has a drier sub-desert climate, and years can pass with hardly any rain. The vegetation that withstands these hard conditions is mainly made up of cactus spurges and spurges, which are magnificently represented in this park. The bitter spurge is the most common plant. This stores water in its stalk, and its understated flowers are pollinated by greenfly and large ants. The cactus spurge is the island's emblematic plant. It isn't a cactus. It belongs to the same botanical genre as the spurge, although its form is very different. It doesn't have leaves, and its stalks, which resemble columns, are thicker so as to store water. Its flowers, and then later its large fruit, are red. Its latex, or milk, is dangerous and can blind if it comes into contact with the eyes. The flora of the lower areas is very rich, and although the climatic conditions and the lack of soil don't allow the formation of woods, the plants find a way of growing in cracks, rock faces, and in places where it would seem impossible. Sow thistles, echium, aeonium, sage, and local plants such as cruzadillas and conganos, as well as a long list of other plants. There are many plant species in this rural park. They all fight for the vital space and compete to attract the insects which pollinate their flowers. The balo provides the green found at the bottom of the ravines, and its fleshy fruits are carried by the water or eaten by lizards, which then spread the seeds in their excrement. Palm trees are also frequently found in the area. The Canary Island palm tree, which is a symbol of the archipelago, is often considered to be the most elegant of its species. It's a plant species which is very useful to man, as its trunk is used to make beehives and its leaves are used for basket work. The island's native name, Tamaran, comes from the word tamara, which means date palm, and the province of Las Palmas is named after the palm tree. It is possible to see pine trees mixed with spurges on Gran Canaria, which is unusual on the other islands. The spurges give way to canary pine woods, of which there are some magnificent examples in this park, with old trees in a majestic state. The pine woods of Inagua, Ojeda and Pajonales have been declared as natural reserves due to their excellent condition and scientific interest. The plants and shrubs which grow in the pinewood undergrowth, such as rock rose and broom, generally appreciate the mists and rains, which are much more frequent at these heights. Up the ravine, in the peaks, the composition of the flowers changes. White sage, roses, laburnum and milk tree are examples of endemic species that are perfectly adapted to withstand the occasional frosts and snowfalls of winter. At the moment, they are all taking advantage of the spring conditions to spread their flowers, just like any plant. A special environment linked to a ravine is made up of the pools that are formed along the course of its bed. The Tejeda Basin is very large and even contains water during summer. This allows for the development of animal and plant communities that are linked to fresh water. Pewter grass, reeds and other aquatic plants have to repair the environment again and again when storms cause water to sweep down the ravine and disrupt everything. This is the cycle imposed by nature.